Greetings, happy digging, allotment based capers. I'm Dick Strawbridge, welcome to Scrapheap Challenge. Been a bit of a mixed bag in terms of my tomatoes this year, largely due to negligence, I dare say. Anyhow, getting a steady crop of them. One thing I have found this year is that all of my plants have been rather stringy. And I dare say these 15-litre pots that I acquired at no cost are maybe slightly too small to not need to feed. I think maybe I've exhausted the nutrients that I can actually squeeze into this pot, hence why some of these leaves are starting to yellow. Anyhow, tomatoes, happy digging. Hi, I'm Strawbridge. Welcome back to Scrapheap Challenge. After a lot of swearing and non-conventional fixing methods, I've got a reasonably sound composting structure. There's only going to be 2 compartments in it because I'm making it out of junk and I just don't have the materials. And I don't want to spend any money. Bit of neatening up, got to add a large gutter to the back and plumb that into some water storage, but yeah, it's kind of ready for composting. Onions. All been lifted, drying in the shed. We've lost a few to sort of rot and stuff. All in all, not a bad crop. Happy digging. Okie dokie, folkies. Yep, evidence of my slapdash nature and not really having the time to string me onions out properly. However, been here for a couple of weeks now. They are drying suitably. If I pull my finger out and find the time, I will actually neaten this up a little bit. Happy digging! Happy digging! Not that this camera angle is the most complimentary, however, this bed here had my main crop potatoes in. They were definitely main crop potatoes, or the seed potatoes I used, which were left over from last year, were definitely advertised as a main crop potato. I cannot remember what date I stuck these in the ground. Main crop potatoes, 20 to 22 weeks. It ain't been 22 weeks, not nearly. All the foliage, admittedly, was dying back last time I was here, which was like last week. So anyhow, foliage has died back, time to root them up. There's been an inordinate amount of rainfall. Having a raised bed does help the drainage. Yeah. Here they are. Part of the reason for me using this bed as a dedicated potato bed this year for this particular variety of potatoes was that the bed I put them in last year wasn't a raised bed, it was just a straight to the ground, and I did struggle a lot with, I can't remember the name of the parasite, the type of worm, and easily, even though this particular variety was high cropping, I lost around about 50% of that crop due to the bugs and creepy crawlers. First couple of things I'm pulling out the ground. I'm going to have to go through this with a rake. Yeah, it doesn't seem like I've really solved that problem. I mean, I've got a few good ones in my hand, but already the few I've pulled out the ground, half of them have been savaged by bugs. Happy digging. Okay folks, now I've given them a wash and cut my losses. I would say I've lost about a third in total to bugs, pests, holes and such. Yeah, but the red skin variety that I've got a few of in the left hand bucket, small yield. I only planted one seed potato, but no bugs, no pests. So I think next year there is a strong likelihood I will actually be investing in some seed potatoes rather than doing it on the cheap like I did this year. And I'll definitely be getting some red skin ones. Happiest of digging. Digging up spuds. What I am interested in attempting next season is gathering up all the fruit. I'm not really sure of the term, but this little potato plant here did actually produce a significant number of, or a significant amount of seed. So I think in some of the areas of my plot where I've got potatoes growing unintentionally, I suspect it may have been due to these little chaps, but I don't know. So I'm going to gather up those anyhow. Experiment with those next season in an effort to get something for nothing, i.e. not from the labour, not pay for any seed potatoes like my main crop has worked out. And this little gem here, so this was a lone potato that I found in ill repute in my kitchen, and it hasn't been in this tub for particularly long. However, the foliage has started to wither and pale. Lovely great big potato there, and it is rotten. That is a shame. Anyhow, what I'm going to do is delicately awkwardly tip some of this out. Wow. Yeah, I think I can see why that's not particularly good, because it's extremely wet in here. However, now this was just a 15-litre pot that I acquired. Have I got more than I put in? Don't know. Happy digging. Okie dokie folkies, gone through this bed, lifted as much of this soil as I practically can with my fork. I think I've retrieved just about all the potatoes I can. More news on those later. What I have got is a pitch invasion by this pumpkin. I think it's the Turk's Head pumpkin, so I'm going to cover these beds over as best I can, leave this thing going, because I've quite a few fruits growing. But what I have got, something which is cropping really well, and predictably is one of my other easy to grow high cropping yields. More courgette. Happy digging. Okie dokie, folkies. Planning on building a polytunnel. Been 3 years in the making. However, the area I'm preparing for alleged polytunnel is overgrown. But what I have been doing is retrieving as many of these strawberry plants that I've found growing out as I possibly can. And along with construction of a polytunnel for what is the newest addition to my plot, the last piece of the puzzle for my pre-existing plot is to build a hugelkultur inspired strawberry bed in the nice little gap I've got next to my new composting station. So I've already saved some strawberries that are already growing at the site of my failed polytunnel. So waste not, want not. Just going to stick these in a little bit of soil and these pots, and then as soon as I've got a decent sized bed dug over there, I will fill it up with rotten wood, rotted manure, and plant these, and then top it up with a good few inches of wood chip. The wood chip we've got is largely from pine, and I can't remember the proper name for it, but it's largely acidic, and so I've been led to believe strawberries like acidic soil. Happy digging. Okay folks, a very crude idea for my plans for this area. These are the strawberry plants I've been digging up and rescuing from, some from here, some from out on the plot, as you may have seen earlier today. Around about here, the sort of length of this bed, which I suppose is probably about 9 feet long. 3 meters in metric. Yeah, gonna dig a hugelkultur inspired strawberry bed using these plants because they cost me nought. Gonna be using some of these large boulders and bits of limestone, sandstone, something like that. Gonna dig a bed at least 2 foot wide, maybe about 2.5 foot wide. And initially I'm gonna excavate it about 18 inches or so, at least 18 inches. Gonna chuck some well rotted wood, some partially rotted manure. Gonna start potting these plants in it. I mean, I must have at least 20 plants there. It's hard to figure out with so many stems. And as that bed starts taking shape, top couple of inches are going to be mulched with the wood chip, which is pine, which I still can't remember the name of the word, but it's acidic, kind of things that strawberries like to grow in. The large boulders will be largely dug into the ground with only relatively small pieces of them exposed. And that's an airplane, jolly good. The idea being that they will absorb heat from the sun, and work a little bit like immersion lenses to keep the roots nice and warm. Happy digging! Happy digging. Few disappointing crops this year. However, one thing that seldom disappoints are runner beans. Now, been cropping for a few weeks now, and as I'm only coming to the plot at best once a week, every time I arrive, and up till and including, I don't know, I imagine well into September, that's accurate from previous year's results, I'll have an abundant crop of runner beans. Plenty of them going. Quite a versatile vegetable, if you can cook. But the beauty of them really is, or my experience at least is, I get them in, trail them up the side of my shed. It's a happy accident, to be fair. And they keep fruiting, they keep fruiting. Happy digging. Can you have some quiet, please? Thus concludes another episode of Happy Digging, allotment-based capers. I've been Dick Strawbridge, or Dick Straw. Comment, subscribe, whatever, flip-flop next week.